Detroit Pistons can't buy a win. They extended their losing streak to 20 games with a 131-123 loss to the Indiana Pacers on Monday night. With the loss, the Pistons equaled the third longest single-season losing streak in NBA history, joining the Philadelphia 76ers from 1972-73, Dallas Mavericks from 1993-94, and Houston Rockets from 2020-21. Detroit is now just 7 losses away from surpassing the all-time single-season record of 26 consecutive losses. The 76ers lost 28 straight games in a row, but that was over 2 seasons from 2014 to 2016. The 2-21 Pistons' next chance to get a win will come Wednesday when they host the Philadelphia 76ers. The Pistons' last win came all the way back against the Bulls on October 28th. What's going on, everyone? It is Luca here, back with another video. In this one, I'm going to talk about the Detroit Pistons, who have been absolutely awful. If y'all can do yourself a favor, please hit a like on the video. It helps out a ton. And please subscribe to the channel for more NBA content just like this. So to keep it real with all of you, I actually feel bad for the Pistons and their fans because this season felt like it was going to be the start of something new, the start of something special. The Pistons had a nice collection of young talent, and they added a head coach in Monty Williams who completely turned the Phoenix Suns' fortunes around. I went as far as saying that the Pistons had a bright future in a video I made on this channel this past summer. Boy, was I ever wrong, because right now, the Pistons are an absolute disaster, and this is turning into one of the worst current situations in all of pro sports. When you look at this Pistons roster coming in, you had some things to look forward to. Cade Cunningham, the player who had shown flashes of being a true star. Jalen Duren had showcased his dominance. You had the arrival of Asar Thompson. Monty Williams as the head coach. You had the emergence of Ivy. The pieces seem to fit together, but that has been far from the truth. The first thing, when looking at this Pistons team, that doesn't make any sense at all to me is Jaden Ivey being benched and Killian Hayes being a starter. Hayes has been blocking the growth of Ivey. Hayes hasn't been a positive impact whatsoever. He's making only 31% of his three-pointers. He's a below-average playmaker for his position, and he's not a notable rebounder at all. And the defense is bad whether he plays or not. And when you have Asar Thompson, who has been one of the best defensive rookies, I don't know what Hayes brings to the table right now. And Monty Williams finally let Ivy be Ivy, and he had 18 points in 34 minutes of action in the loss against the Pacers. So hopefully Monty Williams wakes up and he has Ivy play his game. And like I said, I'm very surprised that he is not starting Ivy. So that has just been one of the ongoing narratives that has been confusing all around. And then when you look at the Pistons' offensive game, I mean, it's absolutely horrible. They take the third most mid-range shots per game in the league. That is what Monty Williams relied on in Phoenix. But the Pistons don't have the personnel, the same personnel that Suns team had to execute it. The Pistons also take the third fewest three-pointers in the NBA. If you don't have proper shooting and three-point shooting, it's almost impossible to win in today's game. Trust me, I know, I'm a Raptors fan. Roster construction is not good either. I mean, when you look at the Pistons' most used starting lineup this season, it has Cade Cunningham with 4 players who have combined to shoot 58 of 196 on three-pointers so far this season. Cunningham can barely shoot it himself either, and neither can Ivy. And then you got Hayes and Thompson, who can't shoot at all. So putting all 4 of them on the same team, I mean, you were just asking for trouble. There's just nothing positive to take away from what's happening with the Pistons right now. I mean, the truth is, what is happening in Detroit isn't on the players. It's on the organization. The players are misused. The coach has a $78 million contract and continues to look lost out there. And the general manager has the reputation of prioritizing these kinds of players. The Pistons are in need of a significant roster shakeup, and the stubbornness that this front office has leads me to think that nothing will happen soon, and they will have another lottery pick because of their terrible record, and they will just hope that this thing works out for the best when really there is no plan in place. I mean, take this in, guys. Like 20 straight losses in the NBA in this current era sounds impossible to do. And the worst part is, I don't think this Pistons team is intentionally trying to tank. They just flat out suck. Those Sixers teams that were awful during the trust the process days were trying to be bad. But this year, for the Pistons, it was supposed to be the beginning of a new era. Like I said, I had high hopes for this team, as I'm sure many people did. It felt like something was going to change. Monty Williams was going to be that glue guy and everything was going to fit perfectly. And this Pistons team was finally going to have some success and maybe even be a play-in team. But that has not happened. This was supposed to be the beginning of a successful era in Detroit, but instead, it's been a nightmare scenario, and there's absolutely no upside at all with this current product. The Pistons need a miracle at this point, but first, they just need a damn win. And I don't know when the Pistons' next win is going to be. I mean, if they somehow beat the Sixers, that'll be crazy, because they do have the Sixers over the next two. Then they have the Bucks on Saturday. The Hawks have been bad, so that's a potential win maybe. Then they got the Jazz, who haven't been good. Then they have the Nets on December 23rd. And then they have the Nets again on the 26th. So, I mean, if they don't get a win during that stretch of Hawks, Jazz, Nets, I mean, I don't know if the Pistons are ever going to win again this season. But then again, they play the Raptors on December 30th, my Raptors. And knowing the Raptors, I mean, that could be a game that the Pistons win, just for as bad as the Raptors have been, and they kind of have similar issues. But I mean, I know there's a lot of bad play going on. Like, I can't remember the last time we've had three significantly terrible teams in the NBA at the same time, with this Pistons squad, the Wizards, and the Spurs. But like I said, I don't think the Pistons were trying or even are trying to tank. Like, this is a team that had aspirations of taking that next step, similar to how the Magic took the next step. This was a team that has suffered for many, many seasons leading up to this point, and this looked like it was going to be the turning point of this franchise, but instead it has just completely fallen apart. And I know people are calling for management, they're calling for ownership, and if you're a Detroit Pistons fan, I mean, I feel for you, because I can only imagine what it's like to be caught in the middle of this and have to watch this product when it's just gotten progressively worse. So, Pistons fans, let this be a therapy session. Let me know how you're feeling. Comment your displeasures down below, and let me know, what do you think the Pistons should do from here? How should the Pistons fix this mess? Let me know your full thoughts. Hit a like on the video, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Plus, ring the bell for more. This is Lucas signing off. As always, thank you so much for watching. Your continued support is greatly appreciated. I will catch you all again in the next video.